The following is a paid program by the Whitley Law Firm. Welcome to Attorneys on Call, the program that gives you free legal information from the Whitley Law Firm. Now, here's your host, Drew Smith.
And thank you so much for joining us. The term Social Security Disability, you've probably heard it, but may not understand what it is. And in today's program, we're going to be taking a deep dive into that. Also, we are offering a free book called Disability Secrets Revealed. The toll-free number, 866-WHITLEY. That's 866-WHITLEY. When you call that number, a live operator will be on the other end and will be able to send out your free book about Disability Secrets Revealed, published by attorney Whit Whitley, who's in studio with us right now. And Whit, it's great to see you.
Glad to be here, Drew. And I'm really excited to offer this free book because Social Security disability is such an important claim and benefit that workers have in this country. And most of the time they don't quite understand what it is, how to apply for Social Security disability, what is going to be important, how you win your disability claim. So I'm excited to offer this free book again. I encourage anybody who is either thinking about Social Security disability or maybe even have applied for Social Security disability, is just to simply call and order this free book.
And so we did talk about this on one of the previous shows, that you published this book, Disability Secrets Revealed. Here's a copy of it. It's a small paperback. You can read right through it probably in one weekend, but it has such great information here, Whit. And once again, 866-WHITLEY is the toll-free number. Live operators are at the other end, and they'll rush out your free book to you. Why is it important for folks to know that what's in this book?
Well, let me tell you, Drew, it's based on my 24 years of representing Social Security disability claimants and their families.
Okay.
I have practiced law in North Carolina for 24 years, and I've been fortunate to work in this type of practice, Social Security disability, and this book is based on my years of experience in giving people the information that they need in order to win their claim. And what Social Security disability is, Drew, is whenever someone goes to work and earns a paycheck, they're going to pay Social Security tax. This is insurance that we have purchased.
Right.
Social Security disability is not a free governmental handout.
Yeah.
It is basically insurance that we purchase every time we pay Social Security tax. And so when we pay that Social Security tax, we're buying the basic benefit. We have Social Security disability and Social Security retirement. Well, we're talking about Social Security disability. This is when, either due to a mental or physical impairment, that the worker, the claimant, is unable to work on a full-time basis, and that it must last a year or so or more in order to be eligible.
Okay.
And so it's like disability insurance. And Social Security is even more important because what I've learned, Drew, is that over the years, it may be that in that unfortunate situation when someone has to be taken out of work because of because of a medical condition, then this may be the only way that they can replace their wages and to get health insurance. So it's very important, and unfortunately it turns out that this may be the only way for someone to have their wages replaced and to get health insurance in the unfortunate event that they're unable to work.
So what we're talking about here is a case where the worker cannot continue to work because, as you said, for a mental or physical impairment, and so they will file a claim for Social Security disability. What are some of the main benefits then?
Okay, well, the two main benefits that you get, and what this insurance is all about, is first, wage replacement. Look at your regular Social Security retirement rate. We all get a statement from Social Security and it tells us if we were to retire today, this is how much we would receive a month. Okay. And that's what we expect to get when we reach that age of retirement. It's either 65 or 66 for most people. Well, if you become eligible for Social Security disability, you will get that same retirement rate, just like retiring early.
Oh, okay.
Except you've got to meet the criteria. You've got to prove that you're disabled. So wage replacement, or what I call wage replacement, it is a very important part of Social Security disability. Secondly, and sometimes just as important, is health insurance. If you become eligible for Social Security disability, you become eligible for Medicare. And so 29 months after the date that you become disabled, you will receive Medicare benefits. And oftentimes, Drew, that is the only way that someone can obtain health insurance. You know, think about a situation where someone is having to be taken out of work. Their doctor tells them either physically you have a limitation or an illness, or you've developed this condition and you no longer can perform your past job. Well, then that worker has to make a decision to be taken out of work. And oftentimes, Drew, that's very difficult, because you face that decision knowing you're going to be without income, waiting for this disability claim to be finalized and decided. And that's why I think it's critical that that person get information and that they understand what is going to be needed in order to obtain those very important benefits.
And that's why Whitley published this book, Disability Secrets Revealed. And you can call 866-WHITLEY right now. A live operator at the other end will rush out your free book. And also, if you feel like you need to speak to Whit right now, you can go ahead and tell the operator that you'd like Whit to call you, and he will call you back within 24 hours or the next business day. So you can also tell the operator, you know what, possibly, if let's say you've been rejected from a claim, you might want to talk to Whit right away. Go ahead and leave that message. We're back with more in just a moment.
I'm attorney Whit Whitley. I'm not a spokesperson. My clients are real people, not paid actors. If you've been injured on the job, or if you've been in an auto accident, call me for a free consultation. I understand the law, and I can help you. At the Whitley Law Firm, there are no gimmicks, just hard work and results for our clients. Call 866-WHITLEY today. At the Whitley Law Firm, there are no gimmicks, just hard work and results for our clients. I've helped thousands of people obtain their Social Security disability benefits. I know what information the judges require in order for your claim to be approved. Call me to help you with your disability claim. At the Whitley Law Firm, there are no gimmicks, just hard work and results for our clients. Call 866-WHITLEY today.
And welcome back to this special edition of Attorneys on Call. We are talking about Social Security disability with lawyer Whit Whitley, who's in studio with us. And Whit also published this free book, Disability Secrets Revealed. And you can call the 866 number. It's 866-WHITLEY. Operators are standing by live right now, and you can they'll take your order and rush out your free book, Disability Secrets Revealed. But if you also feel like you need to speak to Whit soon, go ahead and leave a message for the operator, and they'll get word, and someone from the Whitley Law Firm will call you back within the next business day. Whit, in the first segment, we talked about some of the benefits with Social Security disability. What are some of the leading misconceptions that are out there about Social Security disability?
Well, I would say probably the number one misconception is that all you need is a doctor to simply state that you're disabled and unable to work and complete a form and sign a form, and that you'll be approved. Well, that's not true at all. It is very difficult to be approved for disability. And it is true that you need medical support, that all disability claims start when that injured worker, that worker is told by a physician that they should not be working. So you necessarily have to have medical support. But doctors, they want to practice medicine, and they don't know all of the specific information that a Social Security judge is going to look for when deciding whether to award benefits or not. It is not as easy as simply stating that a person is disabled. There's got to be very specific findings. Those conclusions have got to be supported by treatment records. They've got to be basically well documented with testing and everything else that's needed. So a judge is going to look at the opinion of a treating doctor, but also look to see if it's supported. Okay. And what we talk about in the book, Drew, is that this is information that this is where an attorney can come in and help, because we understand what additional information is needed in order to add weight to the opinion of the treating physician.
Okay.
So that is one of the misconceptions. We've already talked about the other one in the first segment, which is that this is a free governmental handout. This is not. This is insurance that we all have paid for. If we've paid Social Security tax, I tell people all the time, you know, they're concerned. Well, I don't want to apply for disability. I don't, you know, most people want to be working. They don't want to have to even be thinking about it. But then even if they are reluctant to apply. And I tell them, look, why are you reluctant? Just like taking out a private disability policy that you pay for, this is protection that you have paid for. This is not a free handout. So I encourage people to apply, especially if it's their only means of recovering lost wages and medical or health insurance. I talk in the book, Drew, or we do, about how to apply, because that's the first step.
Okay.
Well, my doctor has told me that I'm disabled or I have this condition and I shouldn't be working. Well, what do I do next?
Okay.
Well, that information is in the Drew. We have in the book, we have a chapter on the phone numbers that you call. You can go to website, ssa.gov, and apply very easily. If you need any help with applying, you can call the 866 Whitley and we can let you know and give you more information. But that information is in the book, Drew, and it's for free. So it all starts with the person making the initial decision to apply.
And so it's easy to just call 866 Whitley, 866 WHITLEY. Tell the operator standing by you want your free copy of Disability Secrets Revealed, and we'll rush it out to you. A lot of great information in here, Whit. You talk about some of those misconceptions. I would think that a lot of times what you run into, people in North Carolina, hardworking folks, like you were talking about, they feel like maybe for some reason they don't need to apply or they should apply. But I think it's important to remember that this is something that workers have paid into for years.
And it's going to take such a long time. The other misconception is this is going to be a fast process. And my doctor has said in giving me this information and this diagnosis, I obviously cannot work.
Yeah.
And so I should be approved pretty quickly. And unfortunately, there's so many applications now, Drew. The wait is somewhere around 18 months to 24 months from the date you apply. And so what we tell folks to do is to, okay, go ahead and apply. If you feel like the criteria has been met,
yeah,
and we will let you know if we don't think that you'll be eligible. But if you do, go ahead and apply, because you can always withdraw the application later, and it's such a long wait. Go ahead and do it and apply, get the application in, and get the process started.
Okay.
If it turns out that your condition improves after you apply and you're back to work, or let's say you have a recovery, it's always very easy to withdraw that application. But there's no reason not to go ahead and start the process now. And that information on how to apply is in this book.
Now, you don't need an attorney to file a claim, but there are definitely circumstances when you do need an attorney. When does someone need to hire an attorney to handle this for them?
Okay, well, I've talked about it being a complicated process and what the judges are going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for medical opinions that are supported by medical records. There are lots of cases that I've talked about on this show before where a person needs free information, but they may not necessarily need to hire me or hire an attorney. I believe in every disability case, Social Security disability, that has been denied, where someone is getting ready to have a hearing in front of an administrative law judge, you need to have an attorney.
Okay.
You will increase your chances of winning your claim because we understand the rules. We understand how to get the evidence, which is medical records and medical supports. We know how to submit it to the judges. We submit that information with our argument. Sometimes it's written in the form of a brief, and that we're going to be able to better the chances of that person not only getting Social Security disability, but maybe getting it sooner on what we call an on-the-record decision without having to wait to a hearing.
Yeah, that 18 to 24 months that you talked about, that's a long time.
It's a long time, and during that period of time, you know, someone is going to be out struggling. They're going to be struggling to get medical treatment. They may not have insurance. Our firm provides resources on where to treat, alternative ways of treating, of obtaining health treatment, even if you don't have insurance. So unfortunately, the way that you document your injury and your disability is through medical treatment. Well, all that sounds great, but what about the person who doesn't have health insurance? And you know that we have limited Medicaid here in North Carolina.
Right.
Where do they go to establish that their treatment and their disability? But we can help with that. We can help that person find resources and means of treating, so their claim, not only can they treat their injury, but they can improve their chances of getting disability. So
let's talk specifically to the folks out there right now that maybe they've been denied a claim. It's not over though, right? Hire an attorney from Whitley Law Firm, get involved, get an attorney working for you, so that denial is not the end, right?
Well, that's absolutely true, Drew. And if there's one point that I would like to make to the audience that is interested, whether they may be going through it, a friend or a family member, is that most claims are denied initially. Very large percentage. Most. And when I say most, I'm talking somewhere around 85 to 90%, you know, roughly, are going to be denied regardless of the condition. And that's simply because at that point, all there has been is a medical record review of the claim. A judge has not looked at it, an attorney has not looked at it. And you know, maybe knee-jerk reaction is too strong of a term, but it's basically they're going to give the claim a cursory review of the medical records, and if it doesn't meet certain criteria, they're going to kick it out and deny it. Okay. Now, it's very important that you not give up. Most claims are denied, and you mentioned that if someone were to call the 866 Whitley number, they may need to go from ordering a book to getting a free consultation. And if you've been denied, then you need to ask for a consultation when you order the book. Do both. Order the book, but ask for a consultation, because you have 60 days to appeal that. And so many, many times, Drew, we will talk to someone, they've been denied a year ago, 6 months ago, and what we have to tell them is that we're sorry, but you've got to start the process over.
But the book is free and the consultation is free.
We don't want people to make that mistake.
Right.
And the best way not to make that mistake is to get information, call, order the free book, and if there's any question about it after you've read the book, read the material, on whether you need to actually retain someone now, just call us, ask for a free consultation.
So once again, this is the book, Disability Secrets Revealed, published by Whitley. A great read. It'll take you not a whole long time to go through this book, but it's wonderful. It has all the information that you need. Disability Secrets Revealed. 866 Whitley is the number. Operators are standing by right now. They'll take your order and rush out your free book. And as Whit just mentioned, if you need to speak to Whit because your case has been denied, go ahead and leave a message with the operator. You'll get a call back within one business day. Back with our final segment in just a moment.
At the Whitley Law Firm, there are no gimmicks, just hard work and results for our clients. I've helped thousands of people obtain their Social Security disability benefits. I know what information the judges require in order for your claim to be approved. Call me to help you with your disability claim. At the Whitley Law Firm, there are no gimmicks, just hard work and results for our clients. Call 866 Whitley today. I'm attorney Whit Whitley. I'm not a spokesperson. My clients are real people, not paid actors. If you've been injured on the job, or if you've been in an auto accident, call me for a free consultation. I understand the law, and I can help you. At the Whitley Law Firm, there are no gimmicks, just hard work and results for our clients. Call 866 Whitley today.
And welcome back. We are talking about Social Security disability with attorney Whit Whitley. And if you have been denied a Social Security disability claim, we urge you to call the number right now, 866 Whitley. Leave your message there with one of the operators, and an attorney, someone from the Whitley Law Firm, will be calling you back within one business day. Whit, why is it so important for people to call right now if you've been denied?
Well, Number one, you have a 60-day period to appeal it, to keep to prevent having to reapply. So that's our first concern, is getting us hired in time so we can appeal that decision. You've got 60 days from the date of the denial. Whenever we do a free consultation with you, we're going to ask you to have the date of your denial letter so we can make sure that we're within that time period. And the other that we've talked about in the previous segments is that there's just too much at stake, Drew, to not give yourself the best chance possible to getting disability. The way that we structure our fees, whenever someone hires us, and we get questions all the time, well, how I'm out of work.
Yeah, what's this going to cost me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a very good question. And so we're paid based on if we win the case. If you don't get your disability benefits, we're not paid an attorney fee. So we are on your team. You hire us. We have we're going to do everything we can to make sure that you win your claim. And our fee is based on past due benefits. So Drew, in the first segment, we talked about, well, what do you get when you win disability? Well, you get your wage replacement or your monthly Social Security check. Well, most of the time it could be 2 years by the time you get your approval. So they're going to Social Security is going to back pay you. There's going to be a 5-month waiting period from the date that you became disabled. In other words, they're going to wait 5 months, and then you're going to get paid your monthly rate. Our fee's based on that past due amount. And it's capped. In other words, it's a contingency. We cannot get paid more than $6,000. That's a cap imposed by Social Security. As far as your future benefits, which are the most important part of your claim, there's no attorney fees with that. So it doesn't cost you anything really to hire us. And we do that because we recognize that's the way someone can get the absolute best representation they can to help them at the hearing and increase their chances of winning. Besides that, what we have to do, and this is why it's important for someone to get help. Remember the importance of medical records, Drew, that I talked about, and getting all of the records submitting to the judge and to Social Security. Well, that's not easy to get these records. And we have a system to be able to get these records in as quickly as we can from the medical providers. And then now, Drew, there's even a rule that you've got to have these records submitted within 5 days from the date of your hearing. And so what it means is that you've got to have all your records in and to the judge on time prior to your hearing. And we help with that. And unfortunately, when it comes time to get records, that costs money. So the medical doctors will charge to obtain records.
Really?
Yeah, and so there is an out-of-pocket. And so what we do, in addition to the waiting on the fee or not having a fee unless we win, is that we pay to get those records. So we know that our clients can't afford to go and order records that may cost $100 or $200. So when I talk about free representation, there's a couple different components. First, it's a free consultation. You can call us and spend as much time with us as you need, and we're going to give you information. It's a free book. There's no charge. We're going to mail that to you. In addition to that, we're not paid unless we win your claim, and you're not having to pay upfront out-of-pocket cost in order to get your records. And we do it this way, and quite frankly, Drew, it's a risk. If we go in and we don't win a claim, we are not happy at all. Everybody has spent money, and we go in and plan on winning every single case that we take.
I think it's amazing what you said earlier, that some 85 to 90% of these claims are initially denied?
They are, and often, Drew, it may be because missing medical records, and it may be that the doctor has not put in enough information on the disability statement. We have letters that we send to the doctors and forms to make sure that the physicians, again, who are busy and they just want to practice medicine, can use the right language in order to get the disability claim approved.
Well, and that's another good reason why you need to order Disability Secrets Revealed. 866-WHITLEY is the number to call. A free book. The operators are standing by live. They'll rush out your free book to you. I need to ask you about something that I've heard called parachute firms. What exactly is that?
I'd like to talk about what I call parachute firms and kind of issue a warning to people who have hired or thinking about who to hire to help them with their disability claim. A parachute firm, Drew, is a firm that somehow has reached out to the claimant, sometimes without the claimant knowing about it. You can, someone could be online looking up Social Security and leave a name and phone number at a site that looks like a lot like a Social Security site.
Okay.
Well, what it is, what those pages really are, is a way to create leads for these firms. And many of these firms are out of state. They can be in places like Minnesota, who knows where.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden somebody is looking on the internet how to get disability, but then they get a call or a letter in the mail from a firm with a contract, and before they know it, they've hired this firm and they've hired them to represent them for their disability claim. We see it a lot with when someone does have what's called long-term disability or a long-term disability plan with their employer, where they get on their company-sponsored long-term disability.
Okay.
But as part of that, they're required to file for Social Security disability, and so when they're completing their long-term disability paperwork, they unknowingly hire a parachute disability firm to help them.
Interesting.
Now here's why I call them parachute firms, because in my experience, it's very low customer service, client service. They don't have a stake in the community. They're a national conglomerate. And so when it comes time to have the hearing, a lot of times the claimants, the very first time they'll meet them is the day of the hearing. And that claimant has probably flown in just to have that hearing, hence the parachute firm. When they're done with the hearing, they're going to hop back up and they're going to leave. And that's the only time that they see them. Here are the dangers, okay, with that. In my experience, with these parachute firms, if they don't think they can win your claim, they will get out of your claim in the last minute. You know, here you are, you've got a hearing scheduled 60 days, and then you get a letter saying we can't represent you because we don't want to spend the money to fly in a parachute attorney to have your hearing.
We got about 30 seconds left.
So here's my warning. If you think that you have hired one of these firms, I encourage you to look at the contract and give us a call, order the book. We have a lot of information about it. But here's what I want to leave everybody with. It is so important, so critical. Do everything you can to win your claim. Get your free information. If you decide to hire an attorney, get a local attorney who has a stake in your decision.
Once again, the number to call, 866-WHITLEY. Get your free book. Leave a voicemail there or actually talk to the operator. They'll rush out your free book, and you can also talk to one of the attorneys at Whitley Law Firm. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here.